I was going to start off by saying good morning, but it's now good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to be here and hope to share with you how the ImROC programme has brought a real focus to our work on recovery and wellbeing in Merseycare NHS Trust. As Jeff said, Merseycare has been one of the 6 pilot sites in the ImROC programme so far. We're one of 3 specialist mental health trusts in the UK that have the full range of specialist mental health, learning disability and addiction services from community through to high secure. I've had the privilege of being the programme lead for ImROC at Merseycare, and I'm also the Trust Allied Health Professions lead and an OT, amongst other things. Those who know me well, I think, would describe me as being creative, innovative, compassionate, authentic, and committed to making and seeing a difference with a strong value base. Well, I hope the people who know me in the room would say that. I'm also tenacious, resilient, and very passionate about recovery and well-being. I'm putting the person at the centre of everything we do. But is this enough to transform the system in the current context? Transforming a system we know needs leadership at all levels and across pathways of care. And so with this in mind, I want us to go on an adventure where I hope to share with you our insights along the way. I want you to imagine the goal of recovery and well-being and the things that support it as treasure in a treasure chest. For most people, we sometimes forget the treasures within that support us on our individual journeys. And for others, it feels like the treasure chest is buried and the map and clues along the way have been lost. So, what can we do to help people discover their own personal recovery and wellbeing treasure? From our experience so far, ImROC holds some of the answers, and I would like to share with you some of the clues on the treasure map for us. If you want to discover more of the detail, come and find me at our stand later. And so to our first clue. To begin your quest, you will need to go on a journey and visit the ImROC demonstrator sites that have gone before you. Your reward, should you take on this quest, will be to save time and energy later on as you face the many challenges ahead. You won't repeat the mistakes others have made, and will meet like-minded crusaders along the way who will be a source of support. And so to my second clue. Your hunt for the treasure can only come good if you start from a place where you understand the culture of your organisation in relation to recovery and well-being. With the insights you gain, collect the narratives of people living in recovery and share these with people to inspire hope. The challenge is, how do you bring those who don't get it with you and keep those who do motivated and committed to change? For us, using stories and narrative was one of the vehicles to get there, and so Stories of Hope was born. One carer who read Stories of Hope said, "It's a real inspiration, not masking difficulties, but coming up with some real authentic pointers to moving on for many." Your reward will be to help people truly understand this concept we call recovery. You will also uncover obvious pointers for where you need to direct your focus to support the best outcomes. For us, it was building on the work we'd already started in relation to wellbeing and recovery in our services, developing further our work on personal recovery budgets, testing and evaluating our Launchpad Recovery College curriculum and Treasure Your Wellbeing programme, working hard to streamline routes to employment and meaningful occupation, considering no force first and its possible application in our settings, and co-producing a Merseyside Recovery and Wellbeing Charter with key stakeholders and partners. And so to my third clue. In order to remain true to real recovery-focused approaches, you will need to put co-production at the heart of everything you do. The challenge is, how do we move the involvement agenda onto the next stage? and see this as part of a pathway for people. For us, we modelled co-production in our ImROC programme team and appointed peer consultants into associate lead roles and sought to ensure true partnership working throughout. With real co-production comes the need for extra time and resource to co-assess, co-design and co-deliver. We also redefined our ImROC brand to highlight the personal nature of the programme. Because I is at the heart of recovery, this element is at the foundation. And we've placed speech marks above the letters I and M to act as a visual interpretation of the communication process between provider and user. And we use the IM icon in headlines and positive statements across products. And it was a focus for our annual report this year. For working in this way, your reward will be a rebalance of the power differentials between health professionals and those with lived experience, and a further shift in the culture of care that has at its heart quality, recovery and well-being. And so to my fourth clue. Underestimate the importance of having time and space for doing, learning, reflecting and re-energising at your peril. Join together with others and learn and share best practice. Make sure you have some fun along the way. We certainly did. Learning together and in partnership is one of the most rewarding aspects. Coming together with other sites and learning sets and specialist workshops has been truly inspirational. The willingness of everyone to share their knowledge, skill and experience has been very powerful. It really did feel like the antidote to competition that can exist in the modern NHS system, and it helps minimise the risk of organisations not sharing their learning across the wider system and the potential negative impact this could have on individuals and their recovery and well-being. In Merseycare, we have a long history of use and action learning within our organisation, and we use this as an approach to engage people with the work that we had to do. And so to my fifth clue. Keep in mind the treasure at the end of your trail and take steps to embed your pilot work into your core business. Don't underestimate the need for leadership at all levels. The challenge is to help the system understand that it doesn't own a person's recovery, but ultimately exists to support it. For a long time, mental health services have focused too much on symptom reduction alone and less on supporting an individual to live a life on their terms. From the beginning, our work hasn't been separate to the everyday business and progress of the organisation, and we've been sensitive to position the message to ensure it's inclusive and works well within existing systems of change and development. We embedded the programme of work in our quality strategy and account at the outset, and following evaluation of our pilot work, we've taken time to write a strategic outline case that builds on this work and articulates the vision and work required going forward. This has secured funding for 2 leadership roles to progress our recovery college and complete detailed business cases for the following 4 programmes of work linked to our recovery college, peer employment, personal health budgets, and co-production and employment pathways. We've also taken the time to weave quality recovery and well-being through our vision, values, aims and objectives. The reward is the ability to translate the idealism into reality and see the difference in terms of people being supported and empowered to build a life beyond illness. And so to my 6th and final clue. You're not going in circles, but riddle me this. Repeat engagement and you won't go amiss. Remember, the key ingredient to transformation is the people who are involved in making it happen. The challenge is not imposing the message, but finding ways to share enthusiasm and tailor the messages for the audience that receives them. This takes a lot of time and effort, but without it, you won't bring people on the journey with you. All of your stakeholders, from your board to your ward and across pathways of care, need to be engaged and involved along the journey. the reward, is recovery is about hope, control and opportunity. And when all three tenets are in place, the right spirit for change can help us create a system that works tirelessly to help the people using and working in it live the best lives possible. And so for my conclusion, I want to share with you what our new Chief Executive, Dr. Joe Rafferty, had to say when I asked him what his view on recovery was. He was categorical in his support for the approach and went on to say, "Many NHS leaders have grown up in a decade of rapid and unprecedented investment, which has now come to an end. This is a deep, deep challenge, and as we now have to stop talking about the benefits of prevention and upstream investment in an abstract way and make it real. ImROC and the whole concept of recovery is a practical and focused way to translate the rhetoric into reality. But what makes it so appealing is that it's a mechanism to deliver change that resonates with the people who use our services. It feels like progress and not just more change. What makes more sense than experience-based service delivery, operated on the basis of real-life insight and a focus on return on investment that drives that social as well as economic value? I look forward to seeing the transformative effect of this whole approach take place within Merseycare's core services." Thank you.